Central New York native, Liverpool right down the street, Liverpool High School alum, and a professional boxer with a worldwide record of 16-1. So to the people in the room, to a local boxer here that is out here representing Central New York, can you give him a round of applause, show him some love?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So how are you, little bro? How's life?
Been doing good. I just had my last fight a few weeks ago, and now I'm just, recovering my body, taking a little time off, and enjoying my free time.
And like you said, you just had your fight here recently. To people that don't know, where was the fight? Who did you fight? Bring us into all that.
So my fight was at a Turning Stone Casino. I fought a Mexican-style fighter out of Arizona. It was a tough fight. I won 6-round unanimous decision. But it's now on to bigger and better things, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
And this is multiple times that you've been at Turning Stone.
Yes.
That experience, you and I were talking about it off the air, that going to Turning Stone, getting in the ring, being under the lights, to me, when you're in there, it transports you. It feels like you could be anywhere. You could be in Vegas. You could be in really any ring in the world. It feels like the big lights. It feels like the big time. And growing up as a kid, if anything happened at Turning Stone, you took it seriously. So do you get a sense for that? Do you feel like when you're at Turning Stone that's really, I know you take every fight seriously, but being at Turning Stone, does it feel some type of special to you there?
It definitely does. Especially competing on the cards that I've been competing on, like Golden Boy Promotions, Top Rank, and all these big cards. But the atmosphere itself at Turning Stone Casino, in front of my family, my friends, my loved ones, and the amazing people that come out to watch me and support me, is just electric. The atmosphere. And like you said, Turning Stone does it right, and it makes you truly feel like you hit that big stage, and it makes the hard work worth it from the training camp.
And I got to see you. Shout out to your dad for hooking up some waters here too.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I was at your first fight at Turning Stone, and it was crazy to be sitting there and pretty much ringside, and I'm getting ready, and I'm looking down at the card, and some fights had already happened, and then you hear Bryce Mills, and I look up, and it's a surreal moment in that moment, because you and I met so many years ago. You were playing football for Liverpool, and I remember just sitting there with you, and then you hear the name, see you come out, you got pinstripes on, you got that New York music playing and whatnot. And that was an extremely awesome fight. I got some good pictures there being ringside, but that was such an awesome moment. Bring me to that, because that wasn't too long ago, and about a year and some change ago. Yeah. But being at Turning Stone, fighting at Turning Stone with pinstripes on, just what that was like.
So we always try to do the walkout right. I know shout out to my cousin Anthony and his fiance Gretchen. I let them take care of the walkout and make sure that it's something that's gonna hype up the town and hype up the crowd around me. Yeah. So we went with the Yankee theme. We went with Empire State of Mind as a walkout song mixed with a little bit of Frank Sinatra, and I thought it went well. This past walkout, I actually walked out in one of my best friends' jerseys, who plays for Orlando professional soccer. So every walkout we try to do something different, and get the town behind us and do it right, because that's part of the fight. It's you're in the show business, and I like to put on a show for my fans and have fun with it.
It's interesting you brought that up. So Orlando City SC, when they first came into fruition in the MLS, so when they transferred over from where they were and became an MLS franchise, I was covering them, and I was down in Orlando. So when I saw Orlando Health and I saw your jersey, it's funny how the sports world keeps, for me, getting smaller and smaller. And when I saw you wearing it, I was like, how does he know Orlando City SC and Orlando? And I was like, why is he wearing Orlando Health? So I'll let everybody know your friend that you supported wearing that jersey.
Yeah, so Giorgio Kosevsky, one of my best friends that I grew up with, really from the age of 3rd grade on, just got drafted in the MLS this past year, plays for Orlando City, and just a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal person, and yeah, I'm just happy to know somebody like that and to grow up with someone like that, because I feel like we motivated each other growing up. He motivated me and pushed me. I motivated him, I think, in some ways, and hopefully pushed him. And one of the great story I have with Giorgio is 6th grade. We had this thing called the Fun Run, and what the Fun Run is it's a mile-long race with all of the different Liverpool schools. And it was me and Giorgio were always the fastest kids in the grade, and we always used to compete for the mile. And how it went was, I think I beat him the first time by about 5 seconds, but Giorgio and his competitiveness got got a little mad, and he went up to the gym teacher, and he was like, "I want to run it again." Mr. Gooley, our gym teacher at the time, said, "No one's ever ran the mile twice, like, because they just want to get a better time."
Yeah.
He did, and then he beat me by 5 seconds after that.
Okay.
So that's what he did. But yeah, Fun Run out of like 300 something kids. We both came in 1st and 2nd in the run. Like, he was just a kid that motivated me, and I grew up playing basketball with him, and unfortunately many games ended in like us fighting at the end of it and then having to make up the next day and play again. But I think we pushed each other and we made each other better, and that's why I walked down his jersey, and that's why, he means so much to me to this day.
So, if you won the first race and he won the second, did you ever run a third to figure out who the real champion was?
We did.
Okay.
I won,
Okay.
Shout out to Giorgio, but
Yeah.
beat him by a few seconds.
You beat him by 2 seconds?
By a few seconds.
By a few seconds.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Now, are you telling the truth right now?
I am.
Okay.
I'll call him up right here, right now.
Yeah. I want to hear it from him. So, how good do you think he's going to be in the MLS?
I think he's going to be extremely good in the MLS, and the reason I say that is when he gets his opportunity, and he's already gotten a few opportunities with Orlando to play, and every single time he shows up on the field, people say nothing but good things about him and what he has and the value he brings to the team. He was one of the key players that led Syracuse soccer to a national championship a couple years back.
Yeah.
And the thing about him is, I like to refer to him as like a quarterback on the field. He makes the people around him better. He facilitates and runs the offense, runs the defense, and just really makes his teammates better. He has a great mindset. He's a leader. He leads by example, and he's able to help and motivate his teammates. And I think he's going to kill it.
What do you think that he would say about you, as we're here with Bryce Mills, CNY Native, Liverpool High School alum and professional boxer, keeper of a current record of 16-1. What would he say about you if he was sitting with us right now?
You might have a couple comments on the Fun Run situation, but I'd say that hopefully he'd say something similar. I think we grew up competing with each other and motivating each other for both of us to be where we are now, and just kept improving together. And our friend group and the people I have around me, I know it's equally as important to him as it is to me. And we're both very blessed to be where we're from, and very blessed to have the friends and the people around us that we have. And we're just lucky. We're just blessed, and we want to keep showing on and keep showing out for our people and for our town.
I have to ask you this. I apologize in advance, but you rocked a cowboy hat recently.
I did.
You want to talk about it with me?
Oh, it's a sensitive subject, but I'll talk about it, yeah. No.
I own a cowboy hat, too. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, okay.
I got a nice black cowboy hat at home. What color was yours?
Mine was like a light like tannish color, just a generic cowboy hat.
So you told me off the air that you had to go outside of the confines of Syracuse to wear a cowboy hat.
Yes.
So
yes, I did.
how many miles outside of Syracuse is it okay to wear a cowboy hat?
That's a good question. I'm gonna go with at least 60.
Okay.
You got to be at least an hour away.
You were in A Bay, right?
I was in A Bay, so that's about.
So you wore a cowboy hat. You bought a mansion. You were doing a.
So I like to call myself and refer to myself as a caption god on Instagram. So I'm all about the captions, less about the posts, more about the captions.
Yes.
And yeah, the wilder and the weirder the caption, the better for me.
What was the caption?
I think I had like, I don't know. I said
Should I
something
look it
about.
up?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna look it up. And to be clear, so your parents know you did not buy a mansion, but you captioned it in such a way that was very unique, Bryce. I'm looking it up right now. This is what it says. Let's pull it up. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. It's not letting me look at it. Give me a sec. I love how social media works on this. Hold on. Okay.
That's okay. You don't have to see it.
Oh wait, I got it. Here it is. It says that your lady and you are secret agent cowboys that live in a castle. Just thought I should give everyone a heads up.
That's exactly what I said.
So secret agent cowboys that live in a castle.
Yes.
Why secret agents? Why cowboys? And of all the hats you could pick my little brother. What a Oh man, I really hope that you and I get to do a roast of each other someday. Can I show it?
You can show it. Go ahead.
Look at that hat. Look at it. Drink it in America. Look at that. It's unique. It's cowboy / straw hat. It's kind of like cowboy meets someone who sells me oranges in Mexico on the street.
That's exactly the look I was going for. Either or, you can decide who I am.
So bring me into this caption.
Yeah, so
what inspired you?
If you look in the first photo, you see me and my girlfriend in a black shirt and glasses. Both had that on. So we went with the Secret Agent 5 that day.
I like it.
And then, if you scroll over, you see the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
One day I rocked the cowboy hat because I was further than 60 miles away from Syracuse.
I want to introduce my counter manager, Sierra Contini.
What's going on?
See how you guys are doing?
How are you?
We're big fans. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So secret agent, and then you were talking about the cowboy hat.
Yeah, so then we had the cowboy hat. I rocked it because I was further than 60 miles from Syracuse.
Okay.
I did that for a day. And then, the castle. We visited the castle the last day too, so it was pretty cool. Shout out Alexandria Bay. It's
nice.
only an hour and a half, and it's beautiful. I had a good time.
What can we do to get you a fight in Texas or Alabama and get you to rock a cowboy hat?
I do it. AT&T Stadium. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
So I guess that would be very, very. I think that'd be a great idea to rock a cowboy hat there, but just not here.
Well, I can tell you this. A good buddy of mine is a director of communications for the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, which is in Arlington at Cowboys Stadium at AT&T Stadium. So I covered the game a couple years ago. Tulane beat USC. Michael Pratt, who was just drafted to the Packers, he defeated with the Green Wave the number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, in USC. And after the game, I decided to sneak down to the field because I am a Jaguar, but my second favorite team is the Cowboys. I snuck down to the field, went to midfield, went to the 50-yard line, FaceTimed my dad and my dog, and showed them where I was. And then in the way that God works in my life, straight across, I'm FaceTiming my dad, and I was like, this is just a crazy moment, and I can't believe I'm here. And I see this flash. I see this sign all the way down, and it's a Miller sign. And my dad's dad, my grandpa, on my dad's side, worked at Miller, and I always called him Pop Miller because of that. And so while I'm talking to him, I see it like over the phone, and I stopped and I went, "Hey, Pop," and I said, "Dad," I said, "not only are you here, but Pop's here too."
That's pretty cool.
I can honestly tell you that I at least know somebody that can open the door to the building and get us in and let us walk on the field.
That's all I need. Yeah, just get me on the field and I'll hide. And next fights they have there, I'll come out.
Yeah.
I'll replace someone.
I think there's something to be said. I'm actually going to be down there in a couple weeks. I will be right down the road from AT&T Stadium. So
It's cool.
I did buy a Troy Aikman jersey. I wanted the blue with the white sleeves with a white star, the throwbacks.
Yeah.
So I picked it up and I got a bunch of stuff. I brought it to the register and I thought I had looked at the prices of everything, but the one thing I wanted was that jersey more than anything else. So I grab it and I put it on the register. I'm not going to say what the total price was, but she tells me the price and I was like, in what world? Because these are $20, that's like $5, and I'm looking at the prices of everything. She goes, yeah, well, the jersey's $3.99, and I didn't look at it, but it's the one thing I wanted so badly, and so I do have it. And I will say that the experience at AT&T is interesting, but I need to give Scotty a phone call or see him in a couple weeks and go, hey, just so you know, we got a fighter in case you know of anything going on, or if bare minimum I can sneak my little brother down here and just get him on the field and just stand where Terrell Owens stood when he wasn't a Cowboy and do the right thing on the Cowboy star. So
That's right.
yeah,
That's
maybe
right.
I could sneak you down there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So where would you like to fight? If I know we got Turning Stone coming up, but if you could fight anywhere in the world, do you have a place in mind right now?
So many options, honestly. We actually recently had a possible opportunity at Madison Square Garden, and that is the spot that I would absolutely love to fight at sometime, just because, I'm a huge Yankee fan. Living in New York and only being a few hours out from New York City, all the best athletes, everybody performs at the Garden.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be there one day myself. And unfortunately, with the last opportunity, I had a hand injury at the time, and I was just coming off a fight, so the opportunity just didn't make sense. It was a few weeks away. But I know I'll be there one day and showing out at the Garden. That'll be pretty cool.
So we know that it's been a real possibility already. And how old are you right now?
I'm 22.
22 years old, and you've already had a connection to Madison Square Garden. How surreal is that for the little kid in you that thought maybe this could be something someday?
It's crazy, to think about all that. But, as a kid, not to sound cocky or anything, you believe yourself. You got to picture yourself being there before you're actually there.
Yeah.
And I always dreamed of it as a kid, and to make it happen now and to be able to motivate other little kids to make the same thing happen and follow in my footsteps is something that I really feel strongly about, and I'm excited to actually make that happen in the future.
So for you, Bryce, when you look back at, like you said, you got to believe that you're going to make it, got to believe you're going to get there. In the beginning of your boxing career, what is something or a few things that you can reflect on where you're like, thank goodness I did this, thank goodness I trained here, thank goodness I met this person? Like, what are some of those things that you look back on and think to yourself, if I didn't have this, I don't know if I would be here?
For me, it was thank God I have the team around me that I have, and people around me on my team, the right people that I can trust. This sport, there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that don't have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And my team always did, always has. Shout out to my dad, who does everything for me and is a phenomenal member of my team. Coach Andrello, who's been with me since I was literally 4 years old, my head coach. So he's like a second dad to me. Coach Munoz in Rochester, who is a recent addition, who has been nothing but great to me and really brought a lot of new things to my game and helped me learn a lot. And shout out Russell Peltz, another guy who's really got me some huge opportunities in this sport and helped me out. Shout out Amir, who got me an opportunity overseas in Poland. I just have great people around me. and I think that's part of the reason why I've made it this far, and I am where I am today. So, it's a team effort.
Yeah, and you always thank your team. You always make it about them, that humble, that, appreciate other people, give to other people. In the sport that you're in, there are athletes that thank themselves all the time. So being 16-1, spending years doing this, having the success, hearing people cheer your name and support you, what has kept you humble in a sport where that's not always the case? Sometimes we see great fighters, but they don't really spend the time to thank their team.
Yeah, I just know that I was raised the right way, and I have phenomenal, really, really good parents, and I know that I wouldn't be here today without them and the people around me, and they always taught me that. They taught me to stay humble and to be grateful for what I have, because going to other gyms, seeing other things, seeing other people, I realized that everybody doesn't have it even close to as good as I have it, and the reason I am here today is because of the people around me. I'm the product of my city and the environment around me, and I believe everybody is. Of course, it takes some hard work yourself and some determination and a lot of tough days to make it to where you are, but most important, it's the people that motivate you and pick you up when you're down and help you out, and I have those people around me.
And I definitely applaud that, and they're here tonight, a bunch of them are, and there's that constant support. I mean, when I put out that you and I were going to be doing this show, and the fact that you could come to Avicolli's or that you could watch worldwide, I mean, we're on all of the outlets that the show is on Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, so we're on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT worldwide, facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and internet streaming radio on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. And once we're done live, this will be on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and so on and so forth. So, and when I put that out there, the response, the shares, the love, the consistent, just people appreciating you and saying really nice things, like, I want to know how it makes you feel, because knowing you and being around you, when I see people show love to the people that I love and I care about, that warms my heart. And so if I feel that, I gotta imagine you feel that like 100 times over.
It's that honestly is the greatest thing about fighting, is that I get to bring joy and bring love, bring happiness to others around me, and hopefully to inspire some people. People I have around me are the most supporting people I have truly ever seen in my life, and I honestly mean that. Syracuse supports Syracuse. If you go to the Dome and you go to a basketball game or you go to a football game, you realize that Syracuse is just different. The environment there is truly different. You can go to the biggest stadiums in the world and the biggest venues in the world, and they don't support their local athletes and their local figures like Syracuse does. So to be able to be in the opportunity that I'm in, to hopefully inspire some people and bring joy and bring happiness, bring love to these people, is something that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life and will always affect me.
And you talk about repping Syracuse and Central and upstate New York. Do you feel that everywhere you go, every fight you're in? Do you feel like it's more than Bryce? It's more than, even just the Mills last name, that you're representing a community, you're representing generations of people that have come through Central and upstate New York?
I always do. I want to put my city even more on the map, and it is on the map. Not to say that, but I want to show off Syracuse, honestly, because I believe that this is the best city in the world, in my opinion, not because of the weather, not because of the, what we have around us, and we have some great things around us. We have some very great restaurants like this one, but it's the people. It's the people that make Syracuse, and in my opinion, the connections that you have in life and the people around you are the most important thing. Weather's great, you know, like other things are great, but people and connections, I believe, are the most important thing in life. And here in Syracuse, I have that, and I know many, many others have that, and that's why this town is so great.
Yeah, I feel that every single day. So you talked about having a good team and having support. I know that you have a bunch of sponsors that you work with. You want to give them a shout out?
Yes, definitely. And because of my sponsors, that's also the reason I'm here today. Those contributors and those supporters to me are what initially helped take my career from nothing to something and helped build me up over time. So shout out to my sponsors, Mike Pierce and Q's Cars, Chris Rosen and the Kids Dentist, Patrick Donegan and the Hilton Garden Inn, and Jake Tanner, and Jake Tanner, and just everybody around me. It takes a team, and they truly have helped me get to where I am today, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here.
And if you say any of those names 2 more times, they have to become sponsors of WakeUpCall. So it's the rule of 3. So, Bryce, we're going to play rapid fire in a little bit here, but you got a fight coming up on November 2nd at Turning Stone.
That's right.
It's going to be your 3rd fight at Turning Stone, the trifecta here.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about coming up this fall, why we should come out there, why we should, come and see you, and why we should go out to Turn? I mean, I'm going to be there. I already talked to you about it. So bring me into this fight and the why to come out.
This will be my biggest fight to date, without a doubt. This will be my first 8-rounder. This will be on Top Rank, ESPN. And yes, this is going to be my biggest fight yet to date at the Turning Stone. So I'd love to have all of Syracuse's support behind me. Not only will it be my first 8-rounder, I'm going to be fighting someone, a top prospect in the United States, hopefully top 50 in the country. And I want these big fights. I want the fights that are going to move me up the rankings and be able to compete for a world title someday. And I believe that goal is in sight now. And in order to do that, we have to win November 2nd at the Turning Stone in my first big step up in an 8-rounder.
And there's fighters that just want to be undefeated. They'll fight people that they know that they can beat. They don't really want to be challenged. You just said you want the challenge. Why do you want to test yourself, and why are you willing to put yourself in a position where you are going to have moments of adversity? It's not going to be a cakewalk, where some would just say, look at my record, look at how many wins I have, I don't have any losses. Why are you saying, 16-1 or whatever it is, whatever it becomes? Why do you want to truly prove yourself as opposed to just having an easy fight?
Because I believe in myself, and the people around me believe in myself, and I want to prove that I belong and prove that I'm not just, a local product, not just tickets. I want to prove that I'm truly a contender and I'm truly coming for one of those belts. I know how hard I work, and I work way too hard to just, have cakewalk fights and beat people that I should beat. I want to test myself, and I want to see truly how good I really am. I believe in myself, and if I am as good as I believe, and some of the people around me believe, then, I should pass these tests, and I should keep on winning. So hopefully, God willing, that happens November 2nd.
Yeah, excited about that and excited about the prospect of what's to come for you. Before we jump into rapid fire, like I said, Avicolli is right down the road from Liverpool High School. Your high school has done so many things. I have been to colleges, I have toured campuses. The facilities at Liverpool High School look better than some college facilities.
They do.
What can you say about what Liverpool has done and what it means to you to be a warrior today and always?
I rep Liverpool to this day. That high school has brought me some of the greatest relationships in my life. I talk about high school to this day. I love the friends that were in that school, the teachers, the people that are in that school, the coaches. Shout out to my football coaches, Coach Mancuso, Coach DeLon, Coach Lacerdo, Coach Nettie, Coach Tenike, every single coach, Coach Kosman, every single coach that was on my coaching staff in Liverpool actually come out to my fights today and support me. And the fact that I graduated, in 2020, 4 years ago now, and they still come out and support me to multiple fights. They actually went down to Philly one time and support me in the fight down there. Is a blessing that speaks to the people in Liverpool and the coaches and the staff that this school has.
And for you, like you said, I mean, it means so much to you to this day. What do you want to say to the world about Liverpool High School, about the Warriors, about what it means to wear that orange and blue? What should we know?
I hold it to this day. Playing football for Liverpool was one of the best moments of my life. I gained a brotherhood of friends, family, playing football for Liverpool. And it's the community, and again, it's the people in Liverpool that make the school. Like I said, genuine people, genuine relationships that I will have for the rest of my life, and people that I can always call on, teachers, coaches, students that I can always call on and will have my back for the rest of my life. So that is exactly what makes Liverpool so special and this city so special, is the people.
Yeah, and I agree. I've said this so many times. I said it today earlier, and I've said it this week multiple times, but when I think about Syracuse and Central and upstate New York, there's a Macklemore song where he very simply says, I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. And I think about that when I think about Syracuse all the time. When I think about this community, it's blue collar, it's hard working, it's just people that have earned their keep, and I respect that.
Yeah.
And you're the next one to do that.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
let's get into rapid fire, and you get to ask me the first question.
Okay, rapid fire. I feel like I always talk about food. Maybe it's just the pizzas I'm smelling right now. But what is your favorite vegetable and why?
Favorite vegetable? Huh?
Yeah, I know it's contradicting.
I would probably say it's between carrots and broccoli, but I was never a kid that didn't eat their broccoli like I always did. So I got it last night for dinner, so I'm gonna say broccoli.
What do you put on your broccoli?
Honestly, I like to just keep it simple. I'm not big like butter and oil and like stuff that's gonna not be good for me. So like a little bit of butter is okay, but honestly, like some garlic pepper seasoning, something like that. Just a little hint on there.
Yeah.
But I love broccoli. I like to, if it's cold, I like to dip it in Thousand Island. I love Thousand Island, so
Okay.
I'd say broccoli. Probably go with that.
Respectable.
All right.
Respectable answer.
All right, Bryce. Let's see here. What is the first thing you think about when you wake up?
So the first thing that goes through my mind when I wake up every day is, what I have in the schedule, what I have in my routine for the day, and I've been starting it off immediately the second I wake up. Getting a cold shower. So I've been doing cold showers immediately. I think that spikes my head, gets the energy to my body and stresses me out. And for the rest of the day, I feel calm, I feel relaxed, I feel good. So waking up and just getting after it, just attacking my day, and just trying to be better than I was yesterday.
In the winter, to conserve water, you could just run outside and jump in the sun and get that feeling, that immediate. And it's funny that you said take a cold shower, because I don't think you know this, but we had to pick DJ names in college, and I picked I like the X-Men, my DJ name, and I just found my mug, so it's actually in my house now, but my DJ name was Iceman. So,
Okay.
so that's kind of
pretty
fitting
sick.
there. Yeah. What's your second question for me?
That's sick. What is... See, my Uncle Icameli's trying to ask questions for me.
Yeah.
Someone please tell him to... He's not on the mic right now. Thank you.
Sure.
But I'll go with... What is one thing that you want to improve in the next 10 years?
For me?
Yeah, in your life. It can be anything. Any personal quality, anything.
I want to be better about time management, I want to be a better dad to Lily because I feel like I'm running around a lot and I'm chasing my dreams, but she should have more time and we should do more things together always. So I would say Lily, number one, time management. And I would say I've done a lot of work on myself and there's things that I'm happy about. I would say honestly just to take the things that I've learned and keep them in focus, don't forget them, practice them every single day, and work on some of the screenwriting and the stand-up comedy and those things that I've been playing with and messing around with to make it more prevalent in my life because I really enjoy making people laugh.
Yeah, I mean that's great. I wish I could do the same. So, that's awesome.
My question back to you, Bryce. Let's see here. If you and I were starring in our own movie, and I'll write it since I just talked about screenwriting, but you and I are starring in our own movie. What is the movie about? What is our job occupation? And where is the setting of the movie?
Man, I mean that's a little in depth for me personally, but if I'd have to say that the movie's got to be this movie right here between us right now.
Okay.
I don't know who's gonna want to film it, but I'm gonna say that's the movie. I'm gonna say maybe it's my boxing journey.
Okay.
Maybe it's your journey towards being the next greatest stand-up comedian.
Okay.
And
how about this? How about you and I? The movie is you and I deciding that we're going to go on tour of the United States. We're going to share a bus, and that I'm going to schedule my stand-up comedy in the same cities that you're boxing.
1-2 combo.
So you and I are going to hit each city the way that we want to, and you'll come to my shows. I'll go to your fights.
So down.
And when we're in Alabama, I'm going to absolutely shout you out, and I'm going to come out in a cowboy hat and say, Bryce, I found this on the tour bus. I hope it's okay. I can wear this tonight.
Yeah,
But
director won't like that.
I feel like that would be a nice movie. I don't think they've ever had a boxer and a comedian in a movie together.
I say we just make it happen. It doesn't have to be a movie.
Yeah, I think we should just do it.
Just make it happen.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what 5 cities that you haven't been to would we go to? It's still part of this question.
What 5 cities that I haven't been to would we go to?
Yeah. So if we're doing this
I'd say
fight stand-up thing, where are we going?
So I personally haven't been to Dallas. As a Cowboys fan, I need to go to Dallas, Texas.
Which is actually when I was on the field.
Yeah.
I took a video walking off the field, and I looked right at the camera, and I said, mark my words, I will be back here. So it's funny that you say that.
Okay. So
Dallas.
That's one of the cities. City number 1. City number 2, I'm gonna go with little West Coast vibe because we need to be nationwide, all over. We'll go with. I'm gonna go with. It's difficult. Go with Hollywood because that's where superstars like us belong.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna go with Hollywood.
If we go there, we have to go sit inside of the O's at the end of Hollywood and then get airlifted out when we're told we're not allowed to be there.
I mean,
hey, if I'm going to Hollywood, I'm going to sit on the side. If I'm going to be
right
there, I might as well do something interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Dallas, Hollywood.
Keep it West Coast. We're gonna go with Las Vegas because that's where best performance go.
Okay.
Cosmo. Shout out to the Cosmo Casino down there. My favorite, personally.
Okay. So that's 3. 2 more.
This guy talking. I'd say next. I mean, I've been to. Oh man, see, this is tough. I feel like I'm gonna go with. I've never been to Miami. I always wondered what it's like.
Okay.
I don't know if that's. I don't know.
Yeah, we can go to Miami.
Any opinions? Have you been there?
I've been to Miami to take a cruise. So I was like downtown, but I didn't do like a Miami trip. I just did like I'm in Miami for a few hours, but we could do Miami.
Yeah.
We got to get one more.
Miami. And
So we're here, 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 here. So let's pick something in the Midwest or the Northeast.
Midwest. Okay.
Yeah.
Northeast. I feel like it's difficult because I feel like I've been everywhere in the Northeast. You know, like Philly, New York, Syracuse. What about Boston? I haven't been to Boston. I like Boston.
Let's go to Boston. Let's do a fight at the TD Garden at the Celtics court. Let's do that.
I'm down.
How do we do that? All right, I like
100%.
that. So Boston, Dallas, Hollywood, Vegas, and Miami.
Yep.
That's one heck of a trip.
Road tour.
Sign me up. I'm there. Tickets on sale soon. So what's your final question for me?
My final question. Need this. What is the one thing in your life?
Wait, hold on. I got to say this really quick.
Go ahead.
Copyright and TM before I say it. I got a name for our tour.
Oh yeah.
You ready?
What is it? Yeah.
Jokes that punch.
Jokes that. Okay. I like it.
that.
I like it. That's good.
The Jokes That Punch tour.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I can get with that. That's good.
All right, what's your last question for me?
Last question. What's one thing in your life that you cannot go without?
Oh boy. God, without question. Lily, my dog. And I would say the self-worth and self-respect that I have grown to have. I think I've spent my entire life loving other people, and I've really spent more time now loving myself. So I would say
Very important.
God, Lily, and taking care of myself.
Couldn't think of 3 better things, honestly. Well done.
Thank you. My
Like that.
question back to you, Bryce. My final question of the night. All right, let's go to food. I'm interested. So, for the rest of your life, you can have the same breakfast, the same lunch, and the same dinner. They're all 3 different meals, but you have to eat them every day. I want to know breakfast, lunch, dinner, Bryce Mills for the rest of your life.
Welcome to a day in the life, because I do this every single training camp. I have the same 3 things.
Okay.
And I guess I don't want to be in a training camp for the rest of my life. It might be a little difficult, but
Yeah.
it works for me. It tastes good. I feel like it keeps me in shape, keeps me feeling good. So I start off the morning, little unsalted cottage cheese, unsalted. Put the honey in it, a little bit of blueberries. Then I do a sweet potato with that.
Okay.
Put Himalayan salt in the sweet potato.
For breakfast?
Yes, and a little bit of watermelon to go with it. That's my breakfast every day.
I like this.
Have to.
That's good stuff.
It is.
You said cottage cheese,
Unsalted.
blueberry,
Yep.
honey, watermelon, and sweet potato with Himalayan salt?
Yes.
Sign me up for that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Lunch. We'll spice it up because I don't want to be in a training camp all the time. Chicken on low-calorie roll. So we got to keep it a little classy. And with avocado smeared on the bread.
I will say this, Hugh Jackman, who just got ready to play Wolverine again,
Yeah.
he apologized to the community of chickens for how much chicken he has to eat. And so you talk about getting in shape and all that stuff and in that fighting shape, and when you said chicken, it's the first thing that I thought of. So
Gotta get the
chicken
protein.
on a low-calorie roll.
On a low-calorie roll with an avocado spread on it.
You lost most of America when you said low-calorie.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately.
They heard Hawaiian roll. That's what they heard. So
There's good low-calorie options nowadays, I gotta say.
there is.
Can't hate on them.
You can't.
Dano seasoning,
Okay.
a little bit of mustard, and then you gotta keep. This is where it gets difficult. I'm thinking, do I go with fruit or do I go with toast, whole wheat toast with a little bit of jam on it? I love Himalayan salt, so I gotta keep the Himalayan salt.
Yeah. I had it a long time ago. Himalayan, it's really good.
Yes, and cinnamon.
Yeah.
Saline, I believe it's called cinnamon, the healthy cinnamon.
Is there an unhealthy cinnamon?
I guess not.
Okay.
I don't know, but we'll keep it. That's gonna be the lunch.
I'm gonna sneak into your room
That's it.
when we're on tour and I'm gonna put a Reese's peanut butter cup. I'm gonna like tickle your nose so you open your mouth, and I'm gonna put Reese's in there while you're sleeping.
I won't complain. I think I'll
I can't have Reese's in the house.
stay asleep.
I
Really?
genuinely can't have them in the house. No, because I'll eat them.
Well,
It's
my
like Lincourt Bakery. I will not eat a donut for years. But if you buy Lincourt Bakery and put it in my house, I'll eat everything in the box because it's Lincourt Bakery.
I know that all too well.
So good.
Yep, I gotta do the same thing.
So what's for dinner?
Dinner. I'm gonna go with. The grandma's pie
There
for
it
dinner.
is. There it is.
Because
Who introduced you to
it's
the
the
grandma's
best
pie?
of the best. Hey, you did. I gotta give you credit for that.
Yeah.
So, the grandma's pie, you just can't beat it. To be honest.
No, it is incredible. It's here at Avicolli's.
Yeah.
And when you and I had lunch, we were trying to figure out what to eat, and I told you about it, and you said, all right, let's get it.
Yeah.
And then you brought some home. I brought some home. You ate some in the car. Did you share it? You didn't share any, did you? I don't think you
I
did.
know. I definitely will not be sharing my grandma's pie for a long time to come.
And I'm sitting here, and your dad is like really like your dad, your mom, your family. They're so high on my list. Your parents are really, really high on my list. But I'm about to say this right now. Your dad brought over water, but they didn't bring us over grandma's pie while we were doing the show. Did you order it? I was kidding. I didn't even see it. Is it actually there? Wow. Okay.
Well done.
Well, shout out to your family for reading our minds.
Yeah, seriously.
The grandma's pie. Nothing like it's the texture, man. It's just different.
Yeah, it's the crisp, the crunch, the
fresh
sauce, the
mozzarella
mixture,
on top.
the mozzarella on top, and
Yeah.
it all goes together beautifully.
So with that being said, CNY Native, Liverpool High School alum, professional boxer, keeper of the record of 16-1, coming back to Turning Stone for another fight November 2nd, Bryce Mills, here from Avicolli's on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Please give Bryce a round of applause. Show him some love. Give us some of that love again. We'll give you some love here. All I can say, Bryce, is quite simply, we are just two cowboys on the road of life.